That healthy cereal sitting in your kitchen right now? It might contain more sugar than a glazed donut. And that heart-healthy soup you had for lunch? One can could contain nearly your entire day's recommended sodium, all before dinner. Now, I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to arm you. Because the truth is, after 60, what you eat matters more than ever. Your body processes sodium, sugar, and additives differently than it did at 40. And the food industry? They know exactly how to make ultra-processed products look like health food. In the next 8 minutes, you'll learn exactly how to see through those tricks. I'm going to show you how to spot hidden sugars, even when they don't call it sugar. The sodium trap hiding in foods you eat every single day, which health claims on packaging are mostly marketing spin, and a simple 5-point label check you can use before buying anything. Let's get started. Why label reading matters more. After 60. Here's something most people don't think about. The same food that was fine for you at 45 can hit very differently at 65. As we age, our metabolism slows. We tend to be less physically active. Our kidneys don't filter sodium as efficiently, and our sensitivity to blood sugar fluctuations increases. What does that mean practically? High sodium raises your blood pressure risk. Excess sugar worsens inflammation, increases diabetes risk, and contributes to weight gain that's harder to reverse. Adults over 60 should aim for no more than 102,000 milligrams of sodium per day. Most Americans consume over 3,400 milligrams. And here's the part that frustrates me most. Many foods marketed directly to seniors, senior health, shakes, heart-healthy soups, light frozen dinners, aren't designed for your health. They're designed to get your money. The good news? Once you know what to look for, you can't be fooled. So let's start with the biggest trap, and it's one most people never see coming. The sodium trap in everyday foods. Sodium is sneaky. Most people think of the salt shaker as the enemy, but the salt shaker is the least of your worries. The real problem is processed and packaged food. Let's look at some examples that might surprise you. A standard can of chicken noodle soup, the kind with a red label you've probably seen your whole life, can have 850 milligrams of sodium per serving. And the can has 2 servings. That's 700 milligrams of sodium in 1 can of soup. A single slice of bread? Up to 230 milligrams. 2 slices for a sandwich, and you're already at nearly 500 milligrams before you've added the filling. Here's your quick warning checklist. Over 400 milligrams sodium per serving. Think twice. Multiple servings per package. Double the math. Words like instant, smoked, cured, or pickled. Almost always very high in sodium. The practical rule I want you to remember is this. Rule: aim for foods with less than 140 milligrams of sodium per serving. That's the FDA's official definition of low sodium, and it's a great target. And here's the sneaky trick. Low-fat products often compensate for flavor by adding extra salt. So just because it says low-fat doesn't mean it's low sodium. We'll talk more about those label tricks in a moment. But first, let's talk about sugar, because the sugar situation is honestly more confusing than sodium. Hidden sugars. You don't recognize the FDA now requires food labels to list added sugars separately. That's great. But food manufacturers have found a workaround that's completely legal and completely misleading. They use many different names for sugar. So instead of sugar appearing high on the ingredient list, which would alarm you, you get 4 or 5 different sugar aliases scattered throughout, each one appearing smaller and less significant. Here are the names you need to know. Maltose evaporated cane juice, high fructose corn syrup, dextrose, brown rice syrup, agave nectar, barley malt, fruit juice concentrate. Here's the critical rule. If you see sugar listed 3 or 4 different ways on the ingredient list, it's still sugar. All of it. Don't be fooled by the name. Also remember, ingredient lists are ordered by weight, heaviest first. So if a product lists 3 sugar aliases in the first 5 ingredients, sugar is essentially the main ingredient, just disguised. Some of the biggest offenders? Foods you'd never expect. Flavored yogurt often has 15 to 25 grams of sugar per serving granola, can have 12 grams of sugar per half cup serving healthy cereals. Some have more sugar per gram than cookies, fruit juice. Even 100% juice can have 30 grams plus of sugar per glass with almost no fiber. The practical rule for breakfast foods. Rule: aim for under 8 grams of added sugar per serving. Anything above 10 grams in a breakfast food is a red flag. Now let's look at the claims printed right on the front of the package, because this is where the real manipulation happens. This is the section that might make you a little angry, and that's okay. Food packaging is, first and foremost, advertising. The front of a package is designed by marketing professionals to make you feel good about putting that product in your cart. The back, the nutrition label, is the truth. The front of the package is marketing. The back is the truth. So let's decode some of the most common claims. Natural. The FDA has no strict legal definition for this word on food labels. Natural flavors can include highly processed chemical compounds. The word natural means almost nothing. Multigrain. This just means the product contains more than one type of grain. It says nothing about whether those grains are whole or refined. A multigrain cracker can be made mostly from refined white flour. What you want to see is the word whole, as in whole wheat flour as the first ingredient. Low fat. When manufacturers remove fat, the food tastes bland. So they add sugar, salt, or artificial additives to compensate. Low-fat yogurt, for example, frequently contains as much sugar as a candy bar. Sugar-free may contain artificial sweeteners like aspartame, sucralose, or acesulfame potassium. Research on how these affect metabolism and gut health after 60 is still evolving, but they're worth being aware of. Healthy. Granola cereal, 280 calories, 12 grams sugar, 8 ingredients, versus plain rolled oats, 150 calories, 0 grams, added sugar, 1 ingredient. Low-fat fruit. Yogurt, 150 calories, 22 grams sugar, versus plain Greek yogurt, 100 calories, 5 grams, natural sugar, 17 grams protein. The pattern is clear. The more a product advertises its health on the front, the more carefully you should read the back. Additives to be aware of after 60. I want to be clear here. I'm not asking you to be perfect, and I'm not here to make you afraid of everything in the grocery store. But after 60, reducing your exposure to certain additives where possible is a reasonable and worthwhile goal. Here are 4 worth knowing. 1. Artificial sweeteners, aspartame, saccharin, and sucralose appear in diet and sugar-free products. Emerging research suggests they may affect gut bacteria and insulin sensitivity, though more studies are needed. 2. Sodium nitrates and nitrites, found in processed deli meats, bacon, and hot dogs, associated with increased cardiovascular risk when consumed frequently. 3. Partially hydrogenated oils, trans fats, largely banned in the U.S., but still appear in imported goods and some crackers or baked snacks. Always check. 4. Artificial food dyes, found in brightly colored snacks, cereals, and beverages. Some research links certain dyes to inflammation in sensitive individuals. Practical tip. If the ingredient list reads like a chemistry experiment, more than 5 or 6 items you can't pronounce, that's a signal to consider a simpler alternative. The goal isn't elimination. It's awareness and gradual reduction. The 5-point grocery store label check. Okay, let's make all of this practical. You don't need to memorize a nutrition textbook. You just need 5 things to check before putting food in your cart. I call it the 5-point label check. 1. Serving size. This is always first. Everything else on the label is based on this number. If the serving size is unrealistically small, multiply everything by how much you'll actually eat. 2. Sodium target, under 400 milligrams per serving. Under 140 milligrams is ideal. Over 600 milligrams? Put it back. 3. Added sugars. Look specifically for added sugars, not just total sugars. Under 8 grams for a single serving is your benchmark. 4. Ingredient list. Length. Under 5 to 7 ingredients is generally a good sign. A long list of unrecognizable words means high processing. 5. Fiber and protein. After 60, these two nutrients are your friends. Fiber supports digestion and blood sugar control. Protein helps preserve muscle mass. Look for at least 3 grams of fiber and some protein in packaged foods. That's it. 5 things. You can check all 5 in less than 30 seconds, and it can genuinely change what ends up in your body. Let's bring this home. Today you learned how your body's needs shift after 60, and why that makes label reading essential, the sodium trap hiding in everyday staples like soup and bread, the many disguises of hidden sugar on ingredient lists, why natural, multigrain, and low-fat are often marketing, not nutrition, additives worth being mindful of as you age, and a simple 5-point check you can use every single shopping trip. Small changes at the grocery store really do add up. Better energy, more stable blood pressure, healthier weight, and fewer of those afternoon crashes that leave you reaching for something processed. You've already done something good today just by watching this. Now take it one aisle at a time. I want to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me, what food label surprised you the most when you actually read it? If this video helped you, please hit the like button. It really does help more people find this information. And subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. Share this with someone you care about because everyone deserves to know what's really in their food.